Well, hello there, my friends. It's me, Stu, here for you, and we are back. Today, we have Stephanie joining us. Stephanie, welcome. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Stu. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I was telling you that I love your story because you had a membership site, and quite frankly, it was miserable and not the experience that you were hoping, not the revenue that you were hoping. And however, you made some changes, and you now have a membership that is booming, that is fun, that is sizzling hot, as if I were to use your words. And and I want to talk about the difference in what has happened and transpired. But before we get to all of that, first and foremost, can you just kind of introduce yourself to our audience and just let them know who is it that you serve and what is it that you do in your business?
Sure. Well, my name is Stephanie Novinskis. I've owned a marketing agency for the last 12 years and been in marketing for 25 years. And my membership now is designed to help the bootstrapping small business owners who can't afford an agency, but are past the DIY. They want DI sort of Y services, where we can guide them through creating marketing strategies, clarifying their marketing messages with their copy, and implementing what's working now in marketing.
I love it. Okay, so talk to me about the membership you had before. What were you doing there? What was that experience like, and why don't you think it worked?
Okay, so I wanted to create a membership. It was roughly 4 years ago, and I went all out. I was like, this is it. This is the ticket. This is the key. This is going to create residual income, allow me to have more time with my 3 kids, all the good things, right? So I dumped a ton of money, and I spent an entire year building all of the assets for a membership program. I got super high-end video production. I mean, a year's worth of work. And I launched it, and I was so excited, and it was just chirp, chirp.
Crickets. I hate crickets.
Crickets at the highest level, right? And I was so discouraged, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm a marketer. I can fix this, right? So I tried this, that, the other thing. Nothing was working. It wasn't working. And I was like, why can't I fix this? I know how to do these things. And finally, I got to a point where it's not unreasonable to say I got pretty desperate. I got to a point where I was like, okay, maybe if I charge them like $1 for the first month, they'll come in and they'll see how valuable it is, and then they'll want to pay me, right? But I would get 5 members in, and then they would disappear. And then I'd get 3 members in, and they'd disappear. And it was this ongoing thing. And over the course of 4 years, I brought in a whopping $11,000 from my membership. And while that might sound like something, I spent more developing it than I did actually running it. So I was pretty discouraged.
And it's interesting too, because I've seen many examples of people in similar positions, Stephanie, where things aren't working. So then you start trying, thinking that a cheaper price or that lower dollar trial is going to be all the answers to getting more people in. But if the membership itself isn't working, it doesn't matter like what you're doing as far as pricing. If people come in and they don't have the experience they're looking for, as you said, they're going to leave just as quickly. So so it was a frustrating experience for you, and I hate that. I hate that you had to go through that experience. But I think it's also what's fascinating about it is with your story, you did make some changes, and I want to talk to you about like what is different now with the membership you've got now, because it's a totally different experience. And so what I love about this is it just emphasizes that, yes, not all memberships are created equal. Like there's like a wrong way to do them and a right way to do them. And this is really, really important to understand, because the wrong way can 100% create overwhelm for us. It can create overwhelm for our audience. It can lead to poor results and so much more. But the right way can be light. It could be easy. It could be, very profitable. It could be fun. And so I want to talk about the difference. So what happened, and when did you make the decision to make a change to this membership?
Okay, so COVID happened and, the world turns upside down. And at that point, I had pretty much all but given up on the membership, right? Well, during COVID, for me, it wasn't an option. Like some people just kind of went quiet and binge watched a bunch of Netflix. That wasn't an option for me. I had to keep the money coming in. And so I worked myself to death in 2020, like to death. And, we made it, but I just, I didn't see my kids enough. I didn't have enough time with my family. It was a problem. And so in October, well, I actually signed up for Tribe, and then we had a family thing happen, and so I wasn't able to even participate in the experience, right? But then as the summer went forward, I was finally like, I've got to do this. I got to give it one more shot. I believe this guy knows the ticket, right? And so in October, I launched using your founding member launch formula, which I had never done before. And it went wild, right? It went totally and completely cray-cray, like in the most awesome way. And so we did the founding member launch, did, a reasonable amount of marketing in advance for it, but I didn't do any paid ads. It was all just, telling people and whatnot, following what you teach, Stu. And as a result, I ended up getting 87 members in my founding member launch at $77 a person, or they had the option to pay $770 a year and get in for the whole year. And we ended up getting over 50 people to pay for the entire year. So when all was said and done, it was a $70,000 launch in 5 days. And Stephanie, I was like,
I just got to pump the brakes here for a minute. Like, this is a huge deal. Like, and you think for you, 4 years with the previous membership had generated close to $11,000, and in 5 days, with the new approach, you're generating close to $70,000, that's gigantic. What were you thinking in that moment? Like, as you're coming to the cart close, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I stopped breathing practically. I just kept telling my husband, I'm like, baby, it's happening again. Oh my gosh, somebody else bought. I was on cloud nine for a good 30 days afterwards. You couldn't wipe the smile off of my face. I was like, finally, all of this hard work, finally. But the thing that was so great, Stu, is that your formula, it makes so much sense. But it's not difficult to implement it at all, right? I overworked the first time. I overworked it. I overcomplicated it and did not get results. And then I take it back and I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to pretend I know nothing and I'm going to do exactly what he tells me to do. And well, it works. So thank you.
Well, it's such a fun story because my heart breaks when I see people give up on a membership but it's not because the membership doesn't work. It's just that the strategy upon which they're using in that moment isn't working. And there is 100% a strategy that gets results. Like here, this is why I'm passionate about this stuff, because, when I owned my first software company, it was the world's #1 membership platform for WordPress. And so I'm powering literally like 70,000 plus, online communities and memberships. And my team and I, we just had the behind the scenes viewpoint of seeing like there were sites that were growing year over year over year. But the vast majority of them were not. They had stalled. And so I'm just like, what are those sites doing? Like, what are those ones doing that are growing year over year? And that's where I started to realize there's a whole different strategy to having a successful membership site. And that's why I'm so passionate about this, because I know that there are many membership site owners out there that are like you, potentially on the verge of giving up, or there's people that, are thinking about it and like have heard a horror story and they're like, oh no, not member. But it's no. The wrong membership, 100% is the wrong way to go. But with the right strategy, it can be a phenomenal success. So let's talk about a couple things. What did you do differently the second time around versus the first time around? You talked, the first thing that I picked up on was that you didn't overthink it the second time around. And that was evidenced by the fact that I think you said it took over a year plus to develop the first one, plus a big investment. Second one, it was much more simple and streamlined. What else did you change?
One of the things that I did differently was I was very teachable. I humbled myself, to be completely honest. I humbled myself and I stopped trying to be in this place of like, oh, I can figure this out. I know how to do this, right? And I was just like, you know what? I want to learn from the man who has helped, I don't even know, 1 billion people do this. A lot of people. And going for me was that I had a couple of friends that had taken Tribe and built some successful memberships. So I watched them, right? Because I wanted to watch people that I trusted and people that I knew. Not that I didn't trust you, but I just didn't know you, right? And so I talked to them. I looked at what they were doing, and I was like, wow, this is just, it's so simple, it's so straightforward. Another thing that I did that was different was, my content was all updated. So all of that original stuff I did, it didn't work really anymore. And so one of the things that I did was, instead of redoing everything, spending another year redoing it, I decided, what I'm going to do is I'm going to record my trainings literally 2 weeks before they go live every month. Because A, this is going to keep it super relevant. B, this is going to make sure that what I'm teaching is really what's working now, as opposed to what worked 6 months ago. And on it goes. So the success path, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. That was certainly something I had never heard of before. And gosh, the story goes on, Stu. I mean, a lot of things are different. I think I was just like, okay, let's go, let's do this, and let's see what happens. And it was following your leadership, and that's what worked.
So thank you for that. But, I want to acknowledge you. Like, so often, we'll punt credit to somebody else. But what I want to acknowledge you for is, like, you stuck with it. You didn't give up on it. And I think that in and of itself is the heart of an entrepreneur. Like, listen, gang, as in the wise words of Marie Forleo, everything is figure outable, and we can figure this out. And what I can tell you is that there's 100% a proven path to a successful membership. You just got to deploy the right strategy. And that's why I'm thrilled for you, because off to the races with 87 founding members. Like, talk to me about, like, what the community is like now with this group of people.
So we have a wonderful community. Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that I did that was a little different, not a little, a lot different. I actually folded my membership into somebody else's mastermind that they were launching. So I found somebody that was launching a mastermind that needed a marketing component to it. And we started talking. She was actually a client of mine, and we started talking, and I should give credit where credit's due. It was her idea, right? And she's like, you're launching this. We should fold it into my membership. And we did. So she launched, and it was her early sign-in bonus. Okay. So if you signed in on this by this certain point, you would get the bonus of my membership in addition to what you were getting from her. So it ended up driving tons of quick sales for her, and it ended up exposing me to a completely new marketplace. So that was really cool.
I love this because one of the things that we are a big champion of, and this, but is collaboration over competition. And we see this time and time again, especially in our community, where people are collaborating with one another, and as a result of that, growing exponentially faster. And collaboration can come in all kinds of different forms, right? Like, it can come in the form of, even just doing a Facebook Live together, a podcast episode together. It can come in the form of teaching inside of each other's memberships together. It can come in the form of promotions of one another. There are all kinds of ways in which we can collaborate. But in doing so, as you said, it exposes you to a whole new audience and vice versa. And that could be tremendously beneficial for everybody moving forward. And the way in which I explain it, and people kind of chuckle sometimes because I know it's a bit silly, but like many times we think that like there's just one pie and we're all competing for one slice of the pie. I like to say, listen, no. We're in a bakery. There's pies for everybody. We're just like producing pies left, right, and center. And that's why I love that you shared that, Stephanie, because I think it's really powerful for people to internalize that we're not on this island by ourselves. Like there's lots of opportunity to collaborate. And this is a great example of it.
I have found people being so open to collaboration and eager to collaborate. Like I had another client of mine who has a pretty successful Facebook group. It's a completely different target that she works in, right? But there is a common link in what we do. Right? There is a way that our businesses complement each other. And so I had told her I had never done an affiliate thing. And I said to her, I said, you know what, would you be interested in having me go live and do a little marketing training in your group? And then if anyone signs up, I can give you some money. And she was like, well, yeah. This is one thing I will tell your listeners, I actually went really generous with my affiliate commissions. And that was very much on purpose because I was like, if I don't have to do Facebook ads and wrestle with all of that nonsense, and if I don't have to, go after cold traffic and I can get somebody else endorsing me that already knows and trusts my work, that is worth its weight in gold. And so I actually did a 50-50 split with my affiliates, right? And I was just like, you know what? It's worth that much to me to not have to try to convert a cold audience because that's hard.
And an early mentor of mine said, in any type of deal, you always want the other side to feel like they got the better end of the deal. And in this scenario, like as an affiliate, I mean, how much more likely are they going to be to continue to want to recommend you when they feel so good about the first recommendation that they made and they feel like it's a huge win for them? Well, yeah, awesome. So they're going to want to continue to do it again and again and again, which I just love the mindset around that, Stephanie. And it's very important, especially when we're going into any type of collaboration with anybody. So let me ask you this. I
got to tell you something, Stu. Can I stop you for 1 second? Okay, so this is what's so cool. You said they'll come back again and again and again. So we've only done the founding member launch, but we're going live again April 19th. Okay, so this is, I guess, the real launch, right? After the founding member launch. So April 19th, we're opening back up again. Guess who the first person was as soon as I said we're opening back up? She like texting me. She's like, sign me up. I'm in. I want to be an affiliate, right? And now I have like 15 affiliates sending my stuff out. It's so cool.
That's amazing. And you know what's fun about it too, especially with memberships for affiliates, is like, their membership your membership almost becomes their membership, because of the commissions. And that's the way in which it becomes a truly magical, partnership and relationship where we can all grow together, which, I just love. So Stephanie, I love this. I love that you stayed with it. I love that you stuck it out. And I love now where you're at, which is a membership that is booming, a membership that, has a lot more clarity for your members. They're making more progress. It's a lot more fun for you. And most importantly, it's a lot more profitable for you as well. So looking forward, like what's the future look like for your membership? Talk to me about that. Where are you taking this now?
Okay, so, our goal is to get to 1,000 members. We have a long way to go to get to 1,000 members, but that is my goal. I can tell you, I crunched the numbers with my CFO, and the membership is our most profitable revenue stream, which is crazy to think about. I mean, I have a whole marketing agency. You wouldn't think that, right? But it is. And it requires the least amount of work for me. So you better believe I'm going all in on membership, everything. I'm like the big membership groupie now. So Stu, don't be surprised if I just show up everywhere to everything that you're doing, because I will, because I just want to be you. So there you go.
Listen, you be you. That's what people love. But I love that. It's the most profitable. and it's the least amount of work and energy. And that's the difference between setting it up properly versus not. And, you know, if you set it up with the wrong strategy, yes, it could be a lot of work. It can consume and overwhelm you and your audience. It could be, you know, very costly, but the inverse is also true. Like if you set it up the right way, it could be very profitable. It can be, you can help people get incredible results, and it can be a heck of a lot of fun. So I just love it, Stephanie, and I'm just, you know, thrilled for you. Congratulations. As we wind down, any final thoughts for people who perhaps are in a similar position? Maybe they have tried a membership and it's not getting the results that they had anticipated. What would you say to those people?
Honestly, I can say without hesitation, just follow Stu's formula. Follow the plan that he lays out in Tribe Experience, because it works. I am living proof. And you guys, I mean, if you want to see the poster child for discouragement of a membership that didn't work, that was me a year ago. I was just like, oh my gosh, right?
Well,
it is possible.
Well, thank you, Stephanie. I love it, and I'm excited for you. Where can people go to find out more about your membership?
Thank you for asking that. They can go to sizzleforceacademy.com. Sizzle like bacon, force like may the force be with you. So sizzleforceacademy.com.
Amazing. Well, thank you for that, Stephanie. And listen, gang, I want to encourage you to come and join us on April 22nd, because we're doing a totally free workshop. We do this one time a year. This is it. It's coming up April 22nd. And like Stephanie outlined, we're going to talk about, you know, that founding member launch, that PS that's on the very first night that we're talking about it. So make sure you stay to the end. But number two, you also heard Stephanie talk about the importance of a success path. This is really how the backbone, how you structure the backbone of your membership. We're going to unpack that as well, and so much more. I highly recommend you come and join us. It's all free. It happens one time a year. This is it. It's coming up April 22nd. You can join for free by going to membershipworkshop.com. Go to membershipworkshop.com. It all starts April 22nd. You're going to get a ton of incredible knowledge that's going to be shared with you, as we're going to unpack what it takes to create a successful membership. And you're going to hear from so many other people like Stephanie who have successfully done this to get your own creative juices flowing. So if you've been thinking about a membership and you're like, I don't know if it would work for my marketer or what type of membership I should create, come and join us. If you are thinking, well, what would I put inside my membership? Come and join us. If you're thinking, well, how do I attract members to my membership and how do I keep them happy? Come and join us. It's all free, April 22nd, membershipworkshop.com. Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us. You're a gem. I'm super excited for you, and I can't wait to see what happens a year from now.
Thank you. It's such a privilege.
All right, gang, that's all for today. Talk to you soon, and have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.